this.
Thank you, Derek. We are back here with Acoustic Sundays. I have Mitchell Day with me. If you want to introduce yourself a little bit, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Day. That's actually not my real name.
Is it not?
No.
Oh, that's actually really good to know. What's your real name?
Mitchell Palazzi.
That's nice. Are you Italian?
I am. I'm half Italian.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you choose Mitchell Day?
I chose Mitchell Day. Let's see, 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was after I did a open mic night, and it went really bad, like terrible.
Why?
It just did. It was one of those things where,
it's not good.
Yeah, it just wasn't good, and like I knew it wasn't good as I was playing. And people were kind of doing that, like,
yeah,
good job. That's
like
nice.
You tried,
That's nice. But then I got off stage, and some lady came up to me, and she must have just felt bad, but she was like, "Oh, so what did you say your name was, Mitchell?" And I was like, "Yeah, Palazzi." And she's like, "Oh, that's a lot of words." And I was like, "It's one word."
It's not that bad.
maybe a lot of letters.
Yeah, but it's not that complicated.
So I was like, at that point, I need to like change my name. I need like a stage name.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was like, that's never gonna work. People are just gonna call it out. But it kind of did. I feel like I kind of sneaked under the radar, and nobody really questioned it. And yeah.
What made you choose Day, which is spelled D-A-E?
D-A-E. Yeah. So, it's a long story, but long and the short of it, I was driving one day, and there was like this crazy sunset that I could see like in my rearview mirror, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And that's kind of what I want my music to be like. I want it to shed a light on different areas of my life and other people's lives. So Day. And then I just thought, like, man, that's a cool way to spell it, D-A-E. Like,
and your full name isn't spelled like the normal Mitchell, so like Mitchell.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
kind of cool.
Yeah. So I mean, that's like the short version. But then I was like, you know what? Like, if Hannah Montana can get away with it.
I don't know if we can equate these two situations.
Where does Montana even come from? Is she from?
No, she's from Nashville.
She's from Tennessee.
She's from Tennessee.
Just like random.
Yeah, just Montana. It rhymes with Hannah. I mean, there's no state that rhymes with Mitchell off the top of my head.
Not that I know.
So I think Day was a good choice.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been like Mitchell, Massachusetts. But that's a little bit like
alliteration. That's
you know?
Yeah,
good alliteration.
Yeah, I might have to switch it. It's early enough where I can still do that.
Please don't do that. If you do that, I will take a royalty. But
really?
I take a consultant fee.
Wow.
You did go to UMass Amherst for legal studies.
I did.
What made you choose that?
Yeah, I thought I wanted to, or once upon a time, I did want to be a lawyer. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's what you do. And it's not at all what you do.
Right.
Like, you can do anything and go to law school. But I just was convinced that was the thing that I had to do. And yeah, I hated it.
Really?
I hated it. Yeah.
What'd you hate about it?
I just didn't get along with anybody.
Yeah. It's a lot of A-type personalities. I am legal studies as well.
Do you feel the same way?
Yeah. I don't really have a lot of friends in my own major.
Yeah.
They're A-type personalities.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And it's really hard to get a group of A personalities together and like have them all get along.
Right.
They're all the same Myers-Briggs. They're all the same type of people.
I actually had a professor who called me out, and he's like, dude, like, you're never showing up to class, like, ever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know, because I don't like this. And he's like, yeah, but like, you're paying money to do that. I'm like, yeah, that's true. But I was still like getting papers in on time and doing well on them. I just didn't feel like it was content that I couldn't get from the paper. Like, I felt like I was just sitting in class to hear like the opinions of my peers,
right,
that I just didn't really care about. Sorry.
But like, it's true.
Sorry, peers.
That's just how it goes, though.
Just still don't. Yeah. But yeah, it was an interesting few years of my life. So.
Yeah. Did you like UMass Amherst as a whole?
I did. Yeah. It was a great school, and I definitely I recommend it. It taught me a lot.
Yeah.
In and outside of the classroom, and I feel like I met some of my lifelong friends there. So
that's awesome.
yeah,
and you still live in Amherst too.
I do.
Yeah.
And
you still like it and everything like that.
Yeah, it's just it's really different not being there as a student, but it's still a great town.
Right.
And there's a lot going on, and I feel like there's something for kind of like every personality there. you can kind of find your niche. So.
Yeah, that's a plug for UMass Amherst. We're sponsored by UMass Amherst. Sorry, Suffolk.
UMass Amherst. I would love a cut of that sponsorship. I know you got the money.
That's
I know
so
you
true.
got the
Like,
money.
you took mine. Like, I know you
exactly.
have it. Like,
Yeah, we can give a little bit back.
let's talk a little bit about your music. I know you released a project in January, the end of January.
Yeah. If
you want to talk a little bit about that, I know we had spoken like briefly about it before.
Yeah. Yeah. So
me.
that song, it was I think it was a single.
It was.
And it's called Say I'm Wrong. And actually that was I'm going to call it the first. It's technically the second song, but it's the first song that I've like produced myself. The only thing I didn't do on that was like engineer or mix or master it.
But you did all the other.
But like, yeah, like the production, the vocals, the like instrument selection and everything.
Yeah.
Normally I'm kind of like collaborating with somebody on that stuff, but this was just kind of like a experimental project to see like, oh, can I do these things and kind of put together this cohesive song without having somebody kind of, you know, checking me along the way. So it was cool to see that. But I mean, I think that there's a lot of work and growth to be had. Work to be done, growth to be had.
Right. But for your first try.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. Sure. Yeah.
Give yourself some credit. Give yourself some credit, you know?
It's cool. And like there's definitely aspects of it that I like, but then there's things, and maybe I'm just super critical. Yeah. But I was listening to it actually on the way over here.
Really?
Just because I like to kind of critique like various aspects of like my mixes and things. And I was like, ooh, yeah, like I would have changed that. Or I wish I'd sung that differently, or that lyric sucks. So
just
but
like point blank.
Yeah. But I mean, they're teachable moments, and it's I think I learned a lot through that process. So I'm happy with the fact having done it.
Right.
I'm happy.
And do you think you'll continue on that kind of making your own production and or do you think you'll continue collaborating?
I like collaborating because it's so easy to just get like sucked up in your own world and just closed off, and then it reaches a point where it's just no longer productive. Like you're just kind of circling and you're not really making any progress, and you're second guessing things, and having an extra person there kind of helps balance that, and they're able to kind of call out those aspects of your own personality that would keep you from making progress. Like, hey, like it's actually okay. Like you can move on from there.
Yeah.
Whereas when I'm just sitting in my bedroom, like tooling around with things, like I could spend forever there and not bat an eye just because it's never good enough.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's something I'll continue doing. Probably more in like a demo sense, like I'll demo it out and then go into the studio with somebody to collaborate on like the final version.
Let's talk like your inspiration. So I know it's guitar heavy, like acoustic guitar heavy. What is who's your biggest music inspiration for that?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know?
You know what? I'm gonna go through my Spotify.
That's what I was gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you to pull up your Spotify and find like the most recent song you listen to, but it can't be your own,
you know who I really like right now?
Who?
Matt Mason.
I think I know Matt.
Do you listen to? He's really good. He's a singer-songwriter. He's not like massive yet, but I think he's gonna blow up.
He's gonna blow up.
But yeah, you can go through. These are the songs that I've saved.
Okay, Matt Mason. We have Kanye West.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish.
I love
you like
her.
Billie Eilish?
I love her.
What do you like about Billie Eilish?
She's so different.
Yeah, her vocals are very
She's so different. And her production elements are just so so crazy.
That's interesting. She's kind of like a what is it? Like a wild card in here.
Yeah, she is.
Weathen.
Who's
you like
that?
Weathen? You have him in here. This is your Spotify friend.
No, I don't know who that is.
Codaline.
Might have accidentally snuck it.
Melanie Martinez.
Yeah, she's so cool.
Yeah, she's cool. She's in the same level as like Billie Eilish for me too.
Right. Yeah. I feel like I got to the Melanie Martinez train a little late.
Are you just on it?
Right.
Oh, you just got aboard.
And I'm like, we're just, like, she's been out for a bit now.
Yeah.
And just hearing her stuff.
Really?
I'm like, dang, this is so cool.
This is very interesting. I love going through people's 21 Pilots. We have a ton of Evanescence.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wait. So when I was like an angsty teenager, I would listen to that album. What is it? Fallen or something? I don't know. Evanescence.
It is Fallen. No, it is Fallen.
On the bus, and I would just sit in like the back seat and like my friends would be trying to talk to me and I'd be like, shh. Like I'm listening to
Evanescence
Evanescence.
on.
And this is before I had any interest in music. Like I didn't play music. I wouldn't even say I appreciated music. I just didn't know anything about it. I just liked listening to it. And all those, like that whole album. So the other week I was in Florida and that just kind of popped into my head. So I saved the whole album again on my Spotify.
Is it just as good as you remember?
Oh yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
It's better. Like, because again, like I wasn't able to appreciate certain things, and I'm like, wow, like her vocal selection and just the things that she does with her voice, and like that. I think she's a band, so I think like just the chord progressions that they choose. I'm just like, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool. So yeah.
Thank you for letting me into your phone. That's it was a very interesting selection.
So yeah, when people ask me who my like biggest influences are, I'm like,
it's like everything. You have like Billie Eilish, you have Kanye, you've got Evanescence.
It like depends on literally the day. It changes. Like so.
When did you first start getting into music as a musician? So you've always kind of appreciated it.
Yeah.
When did you start playing?
Probably 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not that long ago at all.
No, like it was
fast.
literally like did not play the guitar.
Yeah.
Did not sing. Was petrified to sing in front of people. Didn't write. Like never wrote anything.
Right.
And it was like that
overnight almost.
Yeah. I was an RA in college, and I was moving in. We had to move in a little bit earlier, just to kind of get ready for like the students to come. And I remember unpacking my stuff on my bed. It was like all over my bed, and I had stolen my sister's guitar because she hadn't played it, and I didn't know how to play it. But I was like, you know what? Like maybe I'll just figure I'll tool around with this thing. And while I was like, I don't know, I was like moving things around, the guitar fell off the bed, and I remember just my head being like drawn over to it, and out of nowhere, just like got super emotional. Like this was not like provoked, or it just wasn't provoked by anything. It was just like out of nowhere, I was like, I'm gonna do music. Like so, like the shift from wanting to be a lawyer to wanting to be a musician was instant. It wasn't gradual. It wasn't inspired by anything. It was just like one moment I was doing this, one moment I was doing that.
Right.
So I remember calling my mom like 10 minutes later. Like, and saying this out loud is really weird.
No, that's not weird at all.
Like, it's because I'm like, wow, like that. I don't know that I would believe it if I didn't experience it. But yeah, so I remember calling my mom and being like super emotional. I might have cried a bit.
Really?
I'm not a crier, but I might have teared up. And she's like, I'm like, I'm gonna be a musician. She's like, what?
She's like, you're in college.
Like, what? Okay, all right, Mitchell. Like, are you okay?
Yeah, like what are you breathing in
exactly.
right now?
So, and I thought it was like kind of a phase. Like maybe I just heard a song that I really liked and was like, oh, that's cool. I want to do that. But it never really phased out, and it only kind of progressed more from there. And I started skipping classes to write. I didn't know how to write songs. So I would just kind of like write and then bounce it off of my friends who, you know, were in that world. And it was really bad. they were very gracious with me.
Oh, they were. They didn't were like, yeah, this sucks, man.
I mean, maybe they made suggestions.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was I remember looking back at my voice memos and being like, ooh, I'm never gonna delete this, but I don't ever want to listen to this. Again.
That's crazy. That happened and it's like you got pretty big, like pretty fast. What do you feel like was like the turning point? 4 years is really short, I feel.
Yeah, it is, and it like feels like looking back, it feels short, but like when you kind of remember everything that happened and occurred along the way, it feels like a long time.
Yeah, because you had to teach yourself guitar basically.
Yeah.
Teach yourself how to write songs, gain the courage to go to open mic nights and do that.
Yeah.
Learn how to mix. So you kind of got a whole thing.
You know what's funny is like I am super self-conscious of like everything. And in a way that like self-consciousness has kind of like pushed me forward. So like I would be self-conscious to go out and sing in front of people or talk in front of people or play because I'm like, oh, like I only know like 4 chords right now. These people have been playing guitar and know like everything.
Yeah.
Like I can't stand up to that. But in a way it was like, well, then I have nothing to lose. Like because they're already better than me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll just go play it.
Right. The worst they can do is like not clap.
Right.
I guess,
right.
You know?
And then you realize like it's not the end of the world when people don't like it, and you're still living, you're still breathing, and yeah.
And you learn from it every time.
Yeah. I actually early on had an event in New York that I was asked to rap at. Early on, young Mitchell used to rap.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was crazy. But,
with the guitar? Was it like the whole?
No. It was like off of somebody's like crappy beat.
Nice.
And I'm like, why would anybody want to listen to it? It was like a big room. Like I remember walking out there and being like, oh shoot, like I'm not supposed to be here. And this is not the demographic that wants to hear me rapping.
Yeah, no.
But I think what had happened was my uncle who was throwing the event, he was like, wow, that's really interesting. Like you can rap really fast. You should do that in front of people. And I was like, okay. So I did it. And I don't think I've ever like failed so miserably at anything in my life. I forgot every single word.
Oh no.
I stood on stage like frozen. And it was a big room. It was probably like a few hundred people.
Oh no.
And this is like early on, I'm holding the mic like this. And everyone's just kind of like, is this a joke? Like, he's got to be joking. Like he's a comedian, I think. He's probably a comedian, and he's gonna like any moment now he's gonna start like going into his set.
Nope.
But it never
never happened.
So then they're like, oh, started clapping, and then I just like walked off stage and just like apologized. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
I forgot the lyrics. I this is terrible. But then like that was a really cool moment because it was like my worst fear happened. Like as bad as it could have gotten,
it happened.
That happened.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't that bad.
Right.
Like it didn't mean anything. I'm still making music.
Yeah.
And
maybe not raps, but
no, yeah, maybe not. Yeah. So, but that was a really cool moment. That kind of like I said, I'm really self-conscious, and that kind of kicked me in the butt a little bit to be like, you know what, like you can be self-conscious and you can you're still gonna live.
Right.
Like, you're still gonna live.
No, that's okay, pretty good. So, and I know you put your music on iTunes and Spotify for those who are looking for it. Mitchell Day, DAE. So here's your plug.
Thanks for the plug.
Yeah, you're welcome. But I am curious to like, because I do want to kind of like use this as a platform for you to tell other people like how they can get started, because obviously you kind of made yourself in a lot of ways. With your friends, obviously, and your support system.
Yeah.
But how did you kind of like figure out the Spotify and the iTunes world? And like, what do you have? Do you have any recommendations or advice for someone who's just starting out?
It was really tedious because I had music on Spotify probably for maybe a year and no one listened. Like I put it on like Facebook and try to just like shoot out a bunch of texts to my friends, be like, hey, just released a song. And they're like, okay, cool.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I think I had like 10 monthly listeners, like, which was all my mom and, friends, and mostly me too. Yeah. I just remember like being so frustrated. Like you put all this work into making something that you're finally proud of, proud enough to like put it out and be like, here's my soul. Here's my soul.
Yeah.
Reject it.
Yeah.
Like, but I found like, and I wouldn't even say I'm not successful. Like I'm more successful than I thought I ever would have been starting off, which is really cool to be able to say. But like, there's so many, like 6,000 is. That's a
pretty big monthly listeners. 6,000 monthly listeners on Spotify.
It's huge for me.
Chunk.
It's huge for me. But like compared to
you can't compare yourself to them, though,
right. Yeah.
But
but anyway, I found that my level of success was kind of contingent upon how many times I was willing to kind of bare my soul to the world and have it rejected. Like, like, and then just do it again. And do it again and do it again until something kind of clicked. Ironically, the song that did click was one that I really didn't like.
Really?
Yeah. It was one that I just kind of wrote in like casually for my wife. And I was like, it literally, it might have been the fastest song I've ever written, just because it just came out like really naturally. Yeah. And I really think that kind of played a role into the success, because I wasn't overthinking anything. Right. I was just kind of like, this is what I want to write in this moment, and this is what I'm going to do. And then I just did it and put it out, and it just blew up in terms of what I would consider like blowing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did it blow up? In what way? Like, it
Um,
was no longer just your mom listening anymore.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
like,
well, I put out so my wife and I just got married.
congratulations.
Well, no. Thank you.
Okay,
you. Like,
but also
at
congratulations.
the time, like when we put the song out, yeah. And we had just gotten back from our honeymoon, and so I'd taken a bunch of like footage, not footages, of like the trip and everything. Because at the time, I was kind of doing a little bit of vlogging, which is funny.
We love that
which
daily
is funny.
vlogging.
Oh my gosh, that's another thing.
We could talk about that.
Yeah, we can talk about that in a second.
Vlogging.
But so I had taken a bunch of like footage of like the trip and compiled it into like a music video. So it was just like the music video of that trip with the song over that. And I just put it on Facebook to be like, hey, this is what we've been up to. Yeah. Thanks so much for the good wishes and everything. And it just kept getting shared. Like people just kept sharing it and playing it and commenting, which I think kind of boosted it up in the Facebook algorithm in some way. And then that kind of brought over streams to Spotify, and then playlists started kind of picking it up and doing that. Wow. So that was kind of crazy. So I don't know that I really like strategically like did much after the fact, you know, like starting to reach out to people and trying to kind of like calculate what it is about that song that people liked, and then recreating. But thank it to vlogs and YouTube. Yeah. Wow. Do you still do vlogs and YouTube and stuff like that? I should do more. I like want to. Yeah. I want to. Yeah. And I always considered myself like a people person in some way. So I always enjoyed like kind of doing stuff like that. And connecting with people. Yeah. But back to that, I always thought it was really funny that people would like want to tune into somebody else's life. I do it. I do it too. Yeah. Like, why am I watching this person like cook breakfast? Right. I don't know, but like it relaxes me. I literally will spend hours watching other people live their life and decorate their home. I don't know why. I think it just makes us feel better about our own lives. It makes me feel worse because like these people are so rich, and like I'm watching this man like he's like like unboxing my new Maserati. Tesla. Like, I'm like, I'm like, okay. But like here I am watching, like good for him. Right. Like comment, like good for you. You comment? No. Oh man. No, I really. Do you comment on YouTube? No, I like videos. You like videos? I'm a very loyal liker. That's good. And like just in general, but YouTubers like, need that. Yeah, that's they always tell me to do it. They're very aggressive about it. like, comment, subscribe. Like vlog channel in the description. I'm like, all right. Eventually, you're gonna start doing it. Yeah. I try to do vlogging too. Do you? I did try. What's your channel? I'm not telling you my channel. It's a secret. I'm gonna. All right, I'll look it up after this. No, I'm not gonna tell you what it is. I'm just gonna Google your name. It's not under my name. It's not under your name. It's not under my name. Okay. It's a very secret channel. All right, everyone watching this, we gotta create this like giant search to find Gabby's vlog channel. First person to find it don't find my gets vlog a feature channel. On her channel. Please don't find. Oh, I'm sorry, Derek. I thought you were trying to find my YouTube channel. Please don't find my YouTube. That's fine. I don't care. It's a treasure hunt. It's a scavenger hunt. First person to find Gabby's vlog channel. YouTube channel. I blog. Like I have a blog that I do a lot of writing on. Yeah. And so when I first started that blog, which I still write religiously on, I had a YouTube channel that went along with it. Okay. And I studied abroad, so like I was like a whole. Oh man. It was like a whole thing. So travel vlogging. You know, I did travel vlogging. And I did just like regular lifestyle vlogging. Yeah. But Rejection, obviously, people are very mean. Yeah, they are. In comment sections. I don't know if it's the same for like boys. This is not interesting. Yeah. Why would you even post that? Like, I don't know. Like other people. You don't have to watch it. Like just click off. You don't need to comment. Right. It's not like constructive in the least. Like, I know. So you could just not like click off the video. It's almost funny because it's like you watched the video to the end. Yeah, just and like comment. And then commented on it. Like, yeah. I don't know. If this really wasn't worth your time, like you spent an awful lot of time. Yeah, like, you spent more time like creating this comment than probably would have taken to exit the video. Over to another one. Yeah. So. Yeah, but the only comments I got were from my grandma, who just got a YouTube channel account to comment. Man, I was like, thank you, grandma. Come and then a hate comment. It was just 2 comments. What were the hate comments say? Grandma. It was one hate comment. She was like, it was a girl, and she was like, "Why would you post this?" I responded really? Back, yeah. And I responded back like, "I don't know what you mean." And she said, "This sucks." I said, "Okay." Did you go over to her channel? This sucks. SUX. Yeah. It was like this like middle-aged lady with her face like just like wicked. Did she have any like videos on her channel? No. She had playlists with just Taylor Swift songs. Okay. And, like. You should do like a Taylor Swift vlog.
Yeah, just for her.
And then just shout her out in it.
For the lady that posted a hate comment.
Yeah,
about
that's
me.
man.
Yeah,
that's a lot of effort.
They're very rude. Did you have a lot of commenters? Were you like engaged with your audience?
I try to be. Yeah, I try to be really, really engaged. Like again, because if somebody takes the time to comment on it, like it shows that either for the good or the bad that they're like interested enough to spend time commenting.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. Like because this world is so loud now, and there's so much content on social media and on the internet. So the fact that people like spent time with your content and interacted with your content in some way,
like
as opposed to like they could have been anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like so I'm always blown away by it.
Yeah.
And, like, really appreciate it.
And you don't vlog at all anymore?
No, I do.
You still vlog?
Kinda.
Like, I creep your Instagram as I do with all Six Sundays people, and I did see that you had a setup, like a YouTube-esque setup, where you were sitting on a couch and like it was kind of like the "What's up, YouTube?" Like,
how long
welcome
ago
back
was
to
that?
my channel. I don't know how far back I went. I go pretty far back.
Pretty far back. Yeah.
I'm going to admit that up front. I go very far back.
Yeah. I never really got my intro down. Like never.
I didn't watch any of the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I don't think is it in your description on your. I don't think it is.
No, it's not.
So I was like, I'm not gonna. I wasn't going to bring it up, but you brought it up.
I know. I'm kind of putting my foot in my mouth right now, but
that's okay.
Yeah, I never really got like super comfortable with the intro. Like I have the "What's up, guys? My name is Mitchell Day," and even saying like every time I say that, I might do like 20 takes of it.
Yeah.
Like there's videos on my phone being like, "What's up, guys? What's up, guys? What's up, guys?" like all these different. And then I finally get the one, and I'm so excited that I got it that I mess it up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But that's pretty interesting. Like I did know that you had some sort of like YouTube-esque. Maybe you can make a comeback. Maybe
I'm really trying to figure it out. Let's make it happen here.
Let's collab.
The awkward backhand dap. There we go.
My hands are sweaty.
Yeah. No, I would love that, because that's another thing. It's like finding people to collaborate with. Yeah. All my friends, like every time I've tried to do a video, they're just like, "Dude, what are you doing? Will you shut up?
It's so weird.
Will you shut up?"
Yeah.
And like they don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And if they are part of it, they don't have like the.
They don't have it. You know, they don't have it. No, I feel it. No, I understand.
So it's just like I'm not gonna spend all this time
and effort.
Right.
It's a lot of time to like edit. That's what I underestimated about vloggers. They spend so much time editing.
And they just get it down so fast. Like it took me like hours for my video. I
remember like being like, "Oh, this isn't. I don't want to do this anymore. This sucks."
Like Casey Neistat, who's like at one point was vlogging every day. And editing it, and like not just editing it, but making it super interesting and like these intricate, detailed edits,
and still having enough time to go out that same day and vlog again,
do everything,
and then do it all over again,
and everything else that he does. Like I'm just like, man, that's insane.
Yeah,
like I'm lucky if I get one video out a year. Like that's that's like, man,
it's so true.
All right,
it takes forever.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to vlog in public too? Have you ever done that?
Yeah, it's terrible. Weird. It's terrible.
That's weird. Everyone's staring at you, and you're just like,
you know what? I vlogged in New York City once, and that was probably the most comfortable I had been.
Yeah.
Because nobody cares. Like nobody's looking at you. You could be naked and nobody's like,
no, just New York, like
whatever. Yeah, nobody's gonna like turn around or look at you. So
yeah, no.
No.
But you're not in the vlogging game either.
No, I gotta
off.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
It'd be cool. Like if I had like vloggable material.
Yeah, I feel like I don't do anything interesting.
I don't.
But neither do the people that I watch, you know? So like if
I know.
There is some audience that needs to be tapped into.
Right.
This could be like a market that you could take advantage of.
When I was living in Philly, when I first graduated, I'm just gonna get comfortable.
Yeah, get cozy, you know.
There we go.
Chat, you know?
And it was like probably the most interesting time of life. Like it was just crazy, like things that happened that I just wouldn't believe I would ever encounter. Well, I had no plan going down there. My cousin was down there who was a producer, so I went down there to work with him. And I didn't have an apartment, I didn't have a job. I literally like found the apartment I was going to be staying in like a day before I moved, which was just like,
I mean, it worked.
It was sketchy.
Yeah, it was sketchy too.
Yeah. And there was like bed bugs, like infested. So that was one thing. So I blogged about that. That's
good material.
That was cool. I mean,
good
people liked it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, rent's due and I need a job, so I gotta figure out something. So I went to this pizza shop that was across the street, and I was like, hey, I can deliver those.
Like I'm Italian too.
I know, yeah.
Like,
I get this.
You use your real last name for that too. You're like, yes.
Hey, it's Palazzi Mitchell. You know I'm legit.
Yeah.
So I after a strenuous interview process, I got the job. Thank God.
Was it strenuous? I was gonna say, I was like, are you sure that just like you'd be like, oh, you
like
can
pizza
you can
delivery.
walk?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Right.
Like,
Right. It was really interesting. But then I found out like later that it was a front for like a meth operation.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
You're lying.
No. So it got like shut down and like.
Did you deliver meth?
I didn't. Not that I knew of. Not that I knew of.
Like,
I might have. Without
did you ever look in the
knowing it.
boxes?
No. So maybe.
There's absolutely meth in there, dude.
Maybe.
You were definitely.
Maybe it smelled like pizza.
You were a mule.
They used me. They used me.
How did you find out it was a? Did you just like show up to work one day? You're
well,
like,
I showed up and then they were like, we don't have any money, and they were freaking out, and then like the cops came and like busted it.
What?
It was insane. And then I was living. One of my roommates was like wanted by the FBI. So one day I come home and I hadn't seen him for like a month. He came home. He was burning like a bunch of documents in the grill in our backyard, and he was like frantic. Like
Where'd you find this man? Say Craigslist.
No, they found me.
Oh, they found you.
Me. Yeah, and it was on Craigslist.
There you go.
It was on Craigslist.
This is your own fault.
Yeah, he was like frantically burning documents in the backyard. I don't really know what he did.
You didn't choose to do it. Like, hey,
I know he had a gun. He had a gun like in the house.
Nice. You knew about it?
I didn't at the time, and then I was like cleaning my stuff out and like found it, and I was like, oh.
It was in your stuff?
No, it was in his stuff. That I was like just kind of like me and the other roommates were kind of like peeking in the room.
Yeah.
Just because he was gone, and we were like, what is going on here? Like we got to figure something out here, and we saw it, and we're like, oh shoot.
You have no idea what he was wanted for?
He said he was in the military and his unit got mixed up or like blamed for something they didn't do, but he had stolen like a bunch of money, I think. Yeah.
So you probably have tabs on you now because you were involved in a meth ring.
It's great. Like I all in the span of like 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, bed bugs, meth, and fugitives. And I'm like, is this like, am I like in an episode of Breaking Bad?
Like, I don't even think that could be
like,
written fictionally. Like I think that's all.
So needless to say, I had a lot of material to vlog about.
Like, hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm cracking a meth house. Like,
here's this meth box of pizza. Yeah, and it was just crazy. So a lot of stuff, but then like I really feel like I hit a lull after moving back up to Amherst, Massachusetts. And
how are you supposed to follow that up?
How do you follow it? Like you're
can't.
Like pinnacle of excitement to like.
I'm in Amherst.
I'm back in Amherst.
Yeah, there's not really much exciting.
Not a whole lot.
There is meth, but I don't think
probably somewhere.
Yeah, but I don't think you can get into that just as easily as trying to deliver pizzas.
Right.
You know.
And I don't look for it either. Like.
You mean you didn't look for it?
I haven't.
You haven't?
I haven't really tapped into that.
Good
scene
vlog material.
Yeah.
You should look into it. Yeah. Maybe.
Hey guys.
Hey
Want to be in my vlog?
Yeah. I'm just a vlogger. Just looking for some material. Start your daily vlogging back up.
Oh man, that's what I've been missing.
I absolutely think the FBI has a tab on you though.
Probably.
So,
they're not gonna find anything.
Yes, they will.
I'm here.
You changed your name for
Mitchell
stage reasons.
I did. Yeah, this does look suspicious now that you say it.
But
wow.
I don't know. Wow. I don't know.
Now I'm nervous.
I'm sorry.
Now I'm nervous.
Well, I'm nervous too. This is our show. Like,
gosh, I'm sorry, guys. You don't do background checks on people.
No, I didn't know that I had to do background checks on the artist.
Oh man, I didn't know that I even had this. I forgot about my background.
You forgot.
That's
like
crazy.
I do have other questions, but I feel like this doesn't match up to the fact that you delivered
I'd love to answer some other questions.
All right. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about. I don't know. I want to feel like. What do you watch on Netflix? If I was to open up your Netflix right now, what are you watching?
A lot of The Office.
Oh yeah, like, that's a given.
But
so
that's
good.
like too much. Like too much.
What do you mean?
Like I don't watch anything else.
Oh, you only watch The Office.
Like over and over and over.
Yeah,
and over.
relatable.
And my wife and I love Parks and Rec. It's
do you like
The Office.
it? Yeah, it is like The Office. Do you like The Office better? I'm an Office person.
know.
I like The Office better. I think it's drier and more funny. but
it's like whatever show I'm watching at the, like I'll be like, yeah, The Office is definitely way better.
Yeah.
And then I'll watch Parks and Rec and I'll be like, oh.
With The Office, I feel like it fell off at a certain season. Like one of
after Michael leaves.
I do blame Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
I don't like Will Ferrell.
No,
just not really. No,
I didn't like him in The Office. I like him.
I didn't like him in The
outside.
Office. Or Elizabeth Tate when she came. I was like, I don't like any of this.
Yeah.
So like, I'll watch season like 1 through what is it, 6, 5 when they
He
come
leaves.
in. I think
Goodbye,
it's 6.
Michael is in season 6.
Yeah. So season 6.
Yeah.
And after that, I'm like, click. Next thing.
It's like I think they did a really good job, like kind of holding it together
Holding
with
the
him
ship.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
It's
I
not
don't
the
know.
same.
It's not. Michael
He's
is just,
so
like,
good.
unreal.
Yeah.
But
What
yeah, it
else?
depends on what I'm watching at the
Yeah.
time. Like, because when I'm watching, I'm like, The Office is definitely better, and then I'll watch Parks and Rec and be like, ooh, Parks and Rec has really good character development.
That's true. That is true. And Andy is just like so funny.
Unbelievable.
One of the best characters.
But I also do. I'm kind of ashamed to say this.
No, it's okay.
But I watch Trailer Park Boys too.
I love Trailer Park Boys.
That show.
Who doesn't? Why are you embarrassed of that?
Because it's like the stupidest show.
Who cares?
It's so dumb.
It's so funny.
But
so funny. I relate to Bubbles so much.
I think I relate most to J-Rock.
Really?
Honestly. No, I'm saying.
No, that's totally fine.
Yeah,
That's not embarrassing.
But I'm like, every time I'm watching it, I'm like making sure nobody's
no one's,
like watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just such a funny show.
It is.
And it's I don't know why I like it's just funny. It's just funny.
It's just
so
stupid.
dumb.
It's so like senseless. Like there's no.
It is.
You don't really need to put any thought into it.
Right.
I like that.
I aspire
appreciate
one
that.
day to have Randy's gut. I'm working on it.
It's
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
that's a hard goal.
big goal.
Yeah.
Big aspirations. There.
I'm rooting for you.
Thank you. I need all the support I can get.
That's gonna be a big thing. Okay, I'm glad that I could ask that.
Yeah.
I think I also wanted to ask you about any other hobbies that you have. I know you were moving to Nashville soon.
Mm-hmm. Is that a hobby?
I don't know. Travel. I know you like to travel.
That could be. Yeah.
Have you been to Nashville before?
Yeah.
Or you have been?
Yeah. It's really. I love it. I wouldn't say traveling's a hobby. I would love for it to be. I'm just.
Yeah, it's
not
an
there.
expensive hobby.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Like,
Maybe
it's
one
like
day.
skydiving
Maybe
is a
one day.
hobby.
Yeah.
But,
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
It's expensive. What do you like about Nashville? What's making you decide to move down there?
I don't know.
You just feel like it?
Yeah.
I mean, you moved to Philly on a whim, and that went very well.
It's different. And it's around like a lot of people like me, but I don't really like that.
You don't like being around people like yourself?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
I just get annoyed
by people like you.
Because I'm like, it's enough for me to deal with myself 24/7.
You can only afford one.
Right. I exhaust myself.
Yeah.
I'm exhausting like and so like to throw a bunch of other people like me into that, I'm just like,
I mean, it's not LA. I feel like LA would be more exhausting.
That's true.
Nashville, I feel, is like a little bit more down to earth.
It is.
But I don't know. I've never been, so you tell.
But
you'll know better than I.
I feel like it is from what I've gathered. It's the data that I've gathered. It's really, really slow paced, and the people are really nice. But it may be more, and I don't know because I haven't really lived it or stayed down there for a long time.
When are you moving?
In June.
June.
I feel like it may be harder to kind of create like actual relationships, like authentic relationships,
right.
because everyone's just so nice and kind of accepting. We're up here, like people have.
Yeah, you're not competing. I feel like it's a music town.
Yeah.
You're all kind of vying for the same thing.
Right, and I don't like that whole competition. Like people, you'll play something and people will be like, "Oh, that was great." Yeah. But here's mine.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Which is like fine. I mean, that's the world we live in.
I mean, you can relate to this if you did legal studies in college, like you know that.
Right.
You know?
I feel like my ideal situation would be to like be in the middle of nowhere, just writing songs and kind of putting those out.
Okay. I mean, you could do that too.
Yeah.
You could do everything,
but like
via the internet
also
these
making
days.
money off of it. So like I feel like I gotta still build.
Yeah. Like a network or relationship.
Right.
Maybe one day you can Alexander Supertramp, but not now.
Yeah.
That's okay. And Nashville is fantastic food.
Yeah,
and you will probably find people who are vying for the same thing. They want an authentic relationship. So
that's true.
You know,
if you're in Nashville and want an authentic relationship,
I need
It's
a
fine.
friend. This is a call for help.
I have no friends down there. That's not true. I just want a lot of really good friends down there. So
Facebook.
You know
this
where
is
to
a
find
call
me.
for help.
you know where to find me. Mitchellsfriend.com.
I mean, they have apps and stuff like that where it's like Tinder, but
Do
like,
they?
yeah, but
For
like
friends?
friendship.
You can like go on like a coffee date with a friend, a friend prospect.
Coffee friend.
Coffee friend.
Coffee prospect. you could go on a few.
If we were to be friends.
Yeah.
Big if.
Yeah, big if. Do you have anything that you want to talk about specifically? I mean, I know we have a single releasing in May.
Yeah.
That's about a month away.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it something that you made? I obviously made yourself, but
yeah.
the whole engineering thing
no,
as well?
No. So I demoed that one and
Okay.
then went to my friend in Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we just kind of worked on it for a day,
Mm.
and that was it. And it honestly sounds so different than what I wrote it thinking it would be, and what I went in there like with the demo. Like he
Right.
just blew it up in a good way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm honestly like a little. I just don't know. Like it sounds so different than anything that I've done before. So I'm kind of like, oh.
Are you nervous to release it?
If I like let myself get there, I definitely can be. But at this point, I'm like, you know what? Like, it's either a good song or it's not. And
Yeah.
if it's a good song, it'll do well, and I won't have a hard time getting it in front of people. And if it's not, like, back to the drawing board.
Right. And you've
It's
already
again-
faced
Right.
the worst of it.
Right.
You're
And
not
it's
rapping
again,
in
how
front
many
of
times
someone.
can you stand in front of people and bare your soul and have them reject it? Like,
Yeah.
I have to be willing to do that on everything that I
Right.
put out.
Absolutely. And that's
So-
coming out May 14th on
May 14th
all streaming
on
platforms.
all damn platforms. It's just better to have everything done like as far
Way
ahead of
in
an advance
advance.
as you can,
Yeah.
and then just give yourself like a buffer to market it and tell people about it,
Yeah.
and come on radio shows and
That's
say that
us.
I have a single dropping May 14th.
And
and you should
can
pre-save it.
and you can pre-save it. And
Yeah.
we will obviously be updating our followers about
Oh
it too. And
man,
we'll, like,
thank you so
we'll,
much.
like, you know,
I appreciate that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What is the word? Retweet. I only know
Retweet.
Twitter words.
Yeah,
What
I don't
is
even
it?
use Twitter, and that's the only one I would
English
know.
words. You don't use Twitter?
No,
I swear to God, it's only like WSFR kids that use Twitter now.
Really?
I don't know who else is using Twitter.
I don't.
I really don't know anyone
It
else.
never
who
made
uses-
sense.
Yeah,
to
you're a
use it.
WSFR kid.
Like, oh yeah. What do you like about it?
It's fast. And
Really?
memes.
Memes from Instagram, news from Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I get my memes from Twitter. I get my memes from Twitter and Reddit.
Reddit.
But,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
big Reddit gal.
I just don't get it. Like,
What, Twitter?
yeah.
Yeah, you either get it or you don't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've always been a Twitter girl. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
I'm more of a MySpace.
You're more of a MySpace
I like
person?
AIM.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Did you say AIM or AIM?
AIM. I said AIM.
I said AIM.
AIM.
And now I went to college, everyone called it
AIM.
AIM. And I was like, what
AIM.
is that?
What is that? Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. Those were the days.
Those were the
Man.
days. I remember racking up my parents' bill without realizing
Oh,
that
yeah.
like, you racked it up.
Yeah,
You know? Like
yeah.
when it first came out
Right.
like, on cell phones and like I was
Right.
like, oh, I can AM my friends.
Yeah, that was. And then Uvu. Did you have Uvu?
Uvu.
Uvu,
Oh
right?
my god. I
Right?
forgot about Uvu.
Yeah.
What
Well-
was that one called? Chat roulette. Do you remember chat roulette?
I hated that.
That was so scary.
So scary. You're
was
just like, I don't
What?
know what I'm gonna like. Why do I
What was
want to
it?
talk to a random
I didn't.
dude like sitting in his bed doing whatever? Like,
No, I remember going to sleepovers with like girls from like middle school, and they were like, "Oh, we're going on chat roulette," and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And like I was like not prepared.
I'm surprised that didn't get shut down like earlier
Yeah,
because
so
it was
true.
like middle schoolers, like,
Yeah.
and then there was old dudes on there.
Yeah.
Like,
Someone should have.
oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of awareness around like,
Nowadays.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
I wonder if it's still up. I'm not gonna go check. If anyone else wants to let us know, but
This is
I'm
part of the
not-
scavenger
I'm not gonna
hunt.
go check. Part of the
Gabby's
scavenger-
vlog channel and then chat roulette.
chat roulette. Go find the pedophiles and then my
Yeah.
very wholesome YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh.
Make sure you follow Mitchell Day on his social media if you want to plug that. I don't know if you have a Facebook page too.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Tell the world.
I am on Facebook at Mitchell Mitchel Day Dae,
Mm.
and it's under like Mitchell Day Music. So yeah, that's my Facebook.
And then he's also on Instagram as well, and Spotify,
Yeah.
and iTunes.
Yeah.
And the works. But thank you for tuning in. We will be back in about 10ish minutes for the acoustic live set. Thank you so much for coming on
Thanks
and
for
chatting
having
with
me.
us.
This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you, and we'll be right back.